I feel like having your own porno is something you need to have now. It's like before the craze was wedding photos, everyone had to have their wedding photos. And now it's like, no, have your own porn film shot by your best friend. Yeah.
I'm Amy, sex educator, sex and relationship coach, and co-owner of PurePleasureShop.com.
And I'm April, sex toy maven, VP of Hot Octopus, and I've dedicated my life to the business of sex. We're two people with a passion for educating and inspiring shame-free conversations about sex and relationships. Welcome to the Shameless Sex Revolution.
Want to learn more? Go to shamelesssex.com. And for 15% off of some of our favorite sex toys, use coupon code SHAMELESSSEX at PurePleasureShop.com.
You are listening to a pleasure podcast. For more from our sex podcast collective, visit pleasurepodcasts.com.
Well, hello, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome back to the Shameless Sex Podcast. This episode, well, we love all episodes, but this one is extra special because it is with the ladies. What's your British accent for that? The ladies from...
The ladies from the Come Curious podcast.
They're like the British version of us.
They're going to be cringing when they hear that.
Or we're the U.S. version of them.
They're like the British version of us and vice versa.
Yeah. I'm just sad it wasn't in person, but they're awesome. They're playful. This episode is about a lot of things. A lot of things. Body confidence is a big part of it. How to get your sexy on. Kink for newbies. But just also stay tuned because it's just highly entertaining.
When were we were on their show right after our book came out.
A couple months ago.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it was...
sometime in the last 6 months, I think.
Yeah. So this is 2024. We're in June. Happy anniversary, Amy.
I know,
7 years, y'all. We've been podcasting every Tuesday. We've launched a podcast. And Amy and I didn't realize that it's 7 years. And neither of us have the 7-year itch, which could be a thing.
Oh, yeah. We didn't. Yeah. I mean, I don't have that. Are you lying to me? Do you have that? Are you trying to leave me? Do we need a therapist?
No. No. But I want to congratulate you and us and all of our listeners that have been with us from the beginning, the middle, or you just joined us because we love you. And Come Curious. They're rad. We were on their show. We don't know when, but check out their podcast. And
they're amazing.
You'll get their deets later.
Yeah, they're incredible. Before we go into the sex question, a couple of announcements. Beep, 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 beep.
No, we're
gonna
boss everyone around, right?
West. Oh yeah,
we're bossing you.
Here's what you need to do. Actually, this is. You know what? I'm gonna save this first part. Everyone, this is happening on air, everyone, because this is actually really gonna apply to the sex question. So moving from that one,
I'm watching her do it on our shared Google Doc.
Attention, everyone! Beep, 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 beep. Portland, Vancouver, Washington, Chicago, and New York City. Or maybe Brooklyn, but I think it's in New York City. We have all kinds of live shows coming your way.
We won't be in New York because we were just there, but
there's some live shows you need to see, though. I can tell you about them. All right, so what are we doing first? This is so when this comes out, this is only like 5 days later. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be in Vancouver, Washington.
Yes, not Vancouver, British Columbia, everyone. So if you are living there, sorry, we're in Vancouver, Washington, and we'll be at Hustler Store June 15th. That is a Saturday. So come and hang out with us. We're celebrating all the things Pride, but also we're doing a free workshop at Hustler Vancouver. It's couples. If you're single, if you are ready to mingle, just come and hang out. Amy and I will teach you some things and have some fun. There's some raffle prizes you can win. They gave away a ton of stuff last time. And there's other incentives because you get a discount for shopping that evening, only that evening, 15% off anything in the store. And Hustler
stores, hang out with us for free.
And don't be scared of Hustler stores because they're all beautiful awesome. And they're curated products in sections, and you can learn from us about sex toys and hang out with us. Yeah. And then where are we, Amy?
And then the next night, so this is on Sunday, June 16th. This is Father's Day. We'll be in Portland, and this is a different type of event, right? So the other one's a workshop. This one is a full-scale show in Portland. It's called the Unleashed Tour, where shamelessness, sexiness, and laughter collide in a hilarious orgy of fun, discovery, and sex edutainment. That's right. I meant to say it that way. And this one is on Father's Day featuring Dirty Lola. So this is like a full, you buy tickets to go to a full show. You're getting all the things. You're getting comedy. You're going to learn. You're going to feel all the vibes. You're going to be interactive. You're going to be a part of it.
And there's She-Bop's going to be there, which is a great store in Portland. And they're going to be there having some products that you can check out.
Sex toys?
Well, Magic Wand is sponsoring the show. We have to give them a huge shout out because we everybody knows, if you've ever listened to Shameless Sex, I talk about my magic wand.
It's your favorite.
It was called the Nemesis by my partner when we first hooked up. Now he just is like, I need to get the baseball bat. And I'm like, yeah, you do. And I have like 3 of them.
Yeah.
I have the mini one. I have the
I heard
the
there's plug-in new ones too.
Oh, I can't wait.
I
so
know.
I have one in every drawer, but I have 3. I did burn one out, so don't hate me. But they are sponsoring us, and we're so stoked. And we might even have, they're working on it, but we might even have special like equipment to show everyone.
They're like,
so
what does equipment mean?
You don't even know. But Amy and I are working on the whole run of show. It's going to be fucking endless entertainment. Dirty Lola, if you don't know, she does Sex at a Go-Go, which is mostly in New York. She's going to be in Portland though. And she also has been on a Netflix show. Can never fucking remember the name, but it's Pleasure something. Doesn't matter. But she's a badass educator and human being, and she's full of just surprising fun
so
stuff.
she'll be part of the Portland June 16th show. Then June 30th we do something similar in Chicago. Are you in Chicago? Go to that one in Chicago. And then in early August we'll be in Seattle. But right now, everyone, go and get your tickets, whether you're in Chicago, you're near Chicago, you're in Portland, you're near Portland, whatever. And even the Vancouver one, even though it's free, go get your tickets right now. Go sign up. Go to shamelesssex.com. Go to our events section. Buy your tickets. Sign up. The link is also in the show notes. And also, this is not us, but are you in New York City? Are you near New York City?
Are you asking me? No, I'm not right now.
No, we were just there.
I know. I love New York so much.
I would have loved to have seen this live.
Do you remember when I took the $100 tuk-tuk ride 2 blocks?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, that's another story.
That was hilarious. It's like, wow, okay, well, you just sponsored someone's, at least,
he's like, it's $13 a mile. I'm like, you went all the way around like 70 blocks. But anyway.
Tuk-tuk is entertainment. Okay,
it was fun.
So this is, we're kind of going backtracking in time now. This is the 4 days after this podcast releases. June 14th in New York City. The wonderful, the amazing Billy Procida. He's been on our show. He has the Man Horror podcast. He's doing a naked comedy show at Hacienda, New York City. And so the thing about the naked comedy shows, one, it's comedians who are doing stand-up comedy completely naked.
And you just showed me a clip.
Yes.
It's brilliant. You can't see his...
It's all blurred out on Instagram.
Yes, it's blurred out, but he's so funny, and he has the Man Horror podcast.
And it's not just him, it's other comedians. Yes. And so they do this every single month, but when this episode comes out, there's a show on June 14th. So go and buy your tickets, go check that out. But if you're listening to this later, go and check out manhorrorpod.com because that will continue going on. And other fun thing about this, by the way, which next time we're in New York City, we're fucking going to this April, is the first 2 rows of the audience can be clothing optional, where the audience can choose to not even have clothes on. Ooh.
Wow. So Hacienda, we've heard about it before, but that's quite not only provocative, but very, I think, like, what it would be.
They do like high-end sex parties, I think, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. It's just, to me, I think that's progressive in a way that it blows my mind, because you go for comedy, and how comedy is already so hard.
Yeah.
And then you're naked on top of it.
Dude, that's
And
badass.
Billy's pretty fucking shameless.
Billy's hilarious.
And he's so funny. We've met him in person many times. We've recorded with him. He's been to my house because he like was driving through Santa Cruz. He's like, let's record a podcast.
And I think, didn't he come to my house like the
yes,
next year or
he
something?
did. And I was like,
his mom with him?
Yes.
I knew he was here.
And then we met him at the Brooklyn Sex Expo when that was happening before COVID. Anyway, check out Billy's work. He is awesome.
Yeah, naked comedy show, New York City, manhorrorpod.com.
And these links
we'll
will
have
be,
the links.
they'll be in the notes.
All right, sex question time, Chip. Ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Which is perfect. Perfect for what we were just talking about. What are your suggestions for top date night options?
Ooh,
My girlfriend and I have been together for over a year, and she keeps asking me to take her on dates, and I'm happy to, but I'm running out of new ideas other than trying different restaurants.
Dude, for real
It's a great
though.
question.
Because how boring is it? Okay, dinner and a movie. That happens to be my partner. I'm like, I don't want to go to dinner and a movie again.
Yeah.
And it's nice. It is nice from time to time. And so sometimes we're like, oh, we try to explore different things. It's hard.
Yeah.
Because if you live in a city, there's traffic and you're like, oh, I have to go.
Well, some people get that creative block thing, or at least I do. Like the spotlight is on you, and someone's like, "Can you do this thing for me?" Whether it's like almost like a performance, and even if you're not asking to do it right now, and you're like, "Oh fuck," and then you go blank.
Or they ask you, "What do you want to do?" And I'm like,
"I don't know. What do you want to do?"
I don't know. Should I just? I could read to you. I don't
Google
know.
it.
That's boring.
Use the AI.
And then
AI.
I'm like,
what do I want to do?
Not boring, but like that's the thing. If you're in one, I mean, at least I know you probably have something to say. But if I were to answer this question, go to these live events now that we can. We're all out of this COVID, this like where we have to like stay in our houses and quarantine mode, and we're scared to go out in public. And now we can, and see the comedians, support your local people like that are traveling from outside of your city. Support those people. I guess that's not local, but your local businesses. Like we're at the Hawthorne Theater in Portland. Yeah. Support them. We're at Zanies in Chicago. Come see us.
Go see Billy's Naked
That would be super
Comedy
fun.
Show.
Yeah, go see Billy's Naked Comedy Show.
And also, I think that you can do date night options that are not in the evening, but it depends on your schedule, right? Like I like dates that aren't just the evening where we go out on a Friday or Saturday. I like, we're going to go on a hike or a walk and have a little picnic and, something that's just like simple, but it's still about connection. Like date nights or dates, I guess, don't have to be about romance. They don't have to be something that costs money. They don't have to be this long extended period of time.
Connection.
Yeah, it's just connection. And if sex happens, then that's cool. We also, another date night option I like, go to your local sex shop.
Oh, yes. Well, you could do that after or before. And like, I know you're not going to be able to actually chat with your partner like you would at a restaurant, but you'll have so many things to talk about after you go to some of these things.
What if you went there with lists and you walked around and you were separately walking around? You're not even like with each other during it. Maybe you come back together, but on your list you have your yes, no, maybes, and you write down the names of like products or toys that are yeses
or things that you learned about at like the Shameless Sex Unleashed tour night. You're like, what are they talking about? And then write it down.
Like date night could just be having the conversations. Let's listen to a podcast together, an episode, and talk about it. And like maybe share a meal, or there's so many different things you can do. We also have a newsletter that only goes out like once a month, so we don't stalk you. But if you sign up for a newsletter at shamelesssex.com and it's free to sign up, you instantly get 60 tips to spice up your sex and relationship life. And they're very like simple ideas. There's not like very complex. Like then you need to go through a maze and find the wizard.
So you have
although
60
that sounds
days. Oh, the wizard. Oh.
Yeah, there's a wizard there, and then you fuck him. That's not on there.
And we worked on that list for a while. Yeah. And if you've already subscribed to the newsletter, then we also have our book. So you can always check out our book.
Lots of ideas.
Yeah. I'm a bored human a lot of times. And I'm like, what should I do? I don't want to just watch the tube with my partner.
I have a question for you.
What?
If I were to design the ultimate date night for you, like say I was your partner, what would it look like?
Okay. Pick me up in a helicopter.
Okay. I like it. Keep going with this. I like it.
And then I want to fly to like someplace that would be a pain in the ass to drive to. That would take a long time. And then sample some wine and then go to a concert. And then I would want to fuck on a hot tub or an infinity pool afterward while the sun's setting.
On the hot tub?
Maybe.
No.
Where?
Like I'm thinking the hot tub top.
Yeah, no. An infinity pool like sitting on it.
Ooh, inside?
But the hot tub is for after because I usually get cold.
Oh, right.
And then after that, I want a fur like blanket thing by the fire unless it's hot. Then I'm just like, then you could just like fan me off in the infinity pool more.
Oh, I like this.
And then I would like to be serviced with food.
Okay, serviced.
And some HJs.
Yeah. So you mean hands on you or hands on your pussy, or you're going to be...
I don't know. We'll see where the night goes,
okay.
Amy.
This sounds awesome. Well, hopefully we gave you some ideas.
I just want a helicopter ride, really.
You probably can't get the helicopter, but with what April shared, this is her very long, extensive weekend of a date night. And I think that's awesome, but maybe you can just pick and choose, right? Some of those things were about sex. Some were about let's go into a show, and some were about the travel piece.
Well, can I tell you what the most important piece for me would be?
Yes.
The intention.
Yeah.
So the intention, so if it wasn't elaborate and expensive, it doesn't have to be. If my partner or someone that I was with in the past or someone did something with intention, it feels more romantic that way. So if someone like
Amy, I thought intention mean I thought about it.
If you came to me and we're not dating, but if we were, I mean, we're besties. If you were like, hey, we were supposed to hang out. I bought these tickets for this show for us. Are you interested in going? Would that be cool? And then afterward we can grab food and it sounds really fun. This is a naked comedy. Or I just signed up for a fucking free newsletter and got 60 tips. Do you want to like start with one? Do you want to look at this and see
like
if
the
there's
thought
one?
behind it, the feelings behind it.
And I love that. Instead of someone being like, what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? That happens with me and my partner sometimes and I get super annoyed.
And if you get to that point, you can just check out the 60 tips that you can get for free by signing up for our newsletter.
You and your partner are good about like getting adventurous and doing fun things outside.
We also like to do weird shit too.
Yeah, and you know what?
Part of it.
Your partner has children, so that can be complicated. So hopefully, if you don't have childcare, you can do the things, the 60 tips or some things at home when the kids go to bed.
Yeah,
put on a sound machine.
A lot of them are like you only need 10 minutes to be, and that could still be a date night or day or moment.
But if you are listening and you're located in Oregon or Vancouver, Washington or Chicago, and we don't see your ass, I'm gonna be mad.
And Billy's gonna be mad if you don't go to New York City.
He's gonna be mad too. Okay, that was awesome. Good job.
Thank you. Hopefully that helped.
All right, you ready? Are you? Yeah, I hope so.
Also, everyone, a fantastic offer for you to get free tickets to our shows. Oh my goodness, go do it. All you do is go and follow us on Instagram. And our lovely sponsors, we have a number of them. I think the first run will be with Uber Lube. You know we love them, giving away 10 free tickets to our shows. So here's what you do. You go to Instagram. You follow Shameless Sex Podcast. Here's the thing. We are shadow banned. So if you can't find us, go to my profile, Amy Shameless Sex. Follow me and then look up the Shameless Sex Podcast Instagram link, or go to April Lampert's on Instagram. Find Shameless Sex Podcast. Go follow us through that. That's what Shadowban is doing. Then you go follow us. You'll see the contests, and this is how you will get the free tickets to come to our shows. So go and do it right. Meow, meaning meow and meow.
And are you ready for the bio? Yeah. I love these two. Florence is a content creator, author, and sex and relationships expert who speaks to millennials and young people with honesty and humor. Reed is an established sex educator, sex worker, and porn director speaking up about women, LGBTQIA+, and sex worker rights. Together, Florence and Reed are co-hosts of their multi-award-winning podcast, Come Curious, and their popular YouTube channel, Fucks Given. To learn more, check out the show notes or look up Come Curious on your favorite podcast app.
All right, everyone, it is interview time, and we are here with the lovely humans, Florence and Reed from the Come Curious podcast. I don't remember when it was. I don't know why I said twas. Maybe it's because you have British accent.
The night
I love the British
accent from Americans is the best.
we were on your show a number of months ago, and we have been wanting you on our show, and so we're so excited to have you here to talk about all the things. I think the theme I wrote for it, but the title for everyone that's listening, it doesn't come to us until after the episode. But I wrote something about get your sexy on, or something about body confidence, and then something about kink for newbies. But we'll see where it goes because we're
coming curious with its episode title.
Maybe we call it Come Curious with Come Curious.
Yes, Come Curious.
So our listeners have already heard a little bit about you in the bio, in the intro, but can you please tell us a little bit more about how you got to where you are today in the field of sexuality?
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having us on also. So excited to be here.
Yes, thank you.
We have quite a story for how we started doing what we did because we met on a porn set when we were like 22-ish. In London, that's both
Super
me and
young,
Reed wanted to direct porn. That was our dream in life, and we were just super interested in sex and everything about it. And we met on this dodgy, filthy, awful porn set.
Nasty. Should have been taken down. Should go to prison. But
sticky floors and everything. You're like
bad, mattress in the corner of a room.
Scam artists, really, really just very icky consent issues. There was a lot of bad there. So we kind of jumped in at the deep end, and through this horrible storm rain cloud, the silver lining was Florence and I met each other and we ended up moving in together. And all we did was just talk about sex. We were literally sitting in our dressing gowns on cold London nights and talking about sex constantly. But because of our film background and because we were so interested in filming and porn directing, we were like, well, why don't we just film ourselves chatting in our dressing gowns about sex and just throw them up online and see what happens? And
I think
we had no idea it was going to get successful. It was just kind of like a fun passion project.
Yeah, Reed was the first person that I ever spoke to about kinks that I was into, about discharge, nipple hairs, all those things that you kind of have hang-ups about when you're a teenager and really stop you from feeling that full confidence. And I think what we realized was having these conversations together make me feel better about myself, and I can go into sex feeling more confident. And so that's really what the mission was, just to, if we put the conversation out there, maybe it will help other people feel more confident and more comfortable in their bodies as well.
And it did.
Yeah, 10 years.
It kind of just exploded. We didn't quite expect it. We've had it all from YouTube, especially the good comments, the bad comments. But the ones that stand out are the ones where it's people have said this kind of content has changed the way that they feel about themselves, about their sex lives. And it's been really rewarding. So we kept going. like all of our free time, every weekend, every evening, putting all that free work into it. And then now we have a business, and it actually paid off, which is nice.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny when it's like a surprise? You're like, oh, wait, we're getting paid to do this? No, wait, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, how do we navigate this now? Okay, so wait, is a dressing gown your pajamas?
We were in
dressing gown.
What's
It's like a dressing gown is like a robe, but like a big fluffy robe.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Sorry,
Yeah.
it's American.
I was thinking a schmuck or
Americanism.
I was thinking
It's a
dressing gown.
Britishism. Yeah,
it's dressing gown. That's just like the jumper. I need
Like
to sometimes get trained in the British words that I don't know.
Lingo.
What's a jumper? And then it's like a sweater. And then what's a nappy? A diaper. Like this, you could go on and on. Where I'm like,
Knickers. Knickers is my favorite.
And then my fringe.
Yeah.
Bangs
Tights.
are fringe.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's
tights.
pantyhose. Mm.
Oh, tights. No, we say that though.
Oh,
yeah?
you do?
Yeah, I do. Tights, like a toy.
But pantyhose is fun to say though. Pantyhose.
Pantyhose. Yeah, that pantyhose just scream, I have a fetish. That is what it says to me.
Totally does.
I don't like the word
Yeah.
panties. Like I don't like when dudes call my underwear panties. I don't know why.
Panties.
Panties.
Mm.
Does it sound like you're
I
a little
love it. I
girl?
feel like it's
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds fucking great to me. Like, I'm into the adult baby, daddy love kind of bullshit. So, yeah, I'm like, call it my panties. Yeah.
I feel like Americans say like titties, but it's like titties. And that makes more
Titties.
sense. It makes more sense in an American accent. In the British accent, it sounds so stupid and so bad.
Oh, when you
Titties.
replace the T's with
Titties.
D's,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, like
right.
titties
Yeah.
with D's.
Your titties.
Titties.
you're
Yeah.
right,
We're just like
titties.
tits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys, I have to say, you pronounce twat wrong. All of you say twat.
Oh, it's twat.
Yeah, we say twat.
Oh yeah,
I
we say
haven't really
twat.
used that word in a while, but now I know. When
Yeah.
I do bust it out, I'm gonna say twat.
You're
Twat?
Yes.
I want to lick your
Good.
twat right
Yeah.
now. You're the sexiest twat I've ever seen.
I mean, honestly, I would be okay. Anyway, this is fun. This is fun. That wasn't my question though. My serious question was, what is a dressing gown?
Yes, that was
we
a
went
serious
off on
question.
one, as we do.
Just in case anyone else out there listening was like, what is a dressing gown? I was picturing something different, so I'm glad you clarified. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's start with something playful. Not that we already didn't
That
just
hasn't happened yet.
but let's talk about, because we're talking about sex and we're four very openly conversationally speaking humans here, that you two talk about sex on your podcast, we talk about sex on our podcast. So let's talk about sex. Tell us about your, well, that was weird moment, most unusual sex stories.
Oh,
Who wants
fuck
to go
me.
first?
I honestly have so fucking many of them. Most weird sex story. There was the time where I had anal with a boyfriend and something didn't feel right. My stomach didn't feel right. So I got up and he had a big cock, like big, and a lot of foreskin. It's not very common in the UK to be circumcised. So a lot of foreskin. And I got up and it was literally all I can describe it as was an egg cup of poo.
Oh no!
So like a nugget nestled in the foreskin, sitting on top like a big old long egg cup of poo. And I was fucking mortified. I was literally like, close your eyes. Oh God, like I need to deal with this situation. Luckily, he was a fucking gentleman and changed the way that I felt about bodily fluids, because he just didn't give a fuck. He didn't give a fuck to the point where he was like,
So good.
it's honestly so fine, to the point where I was like, are you into this? But we didn't quite breach that topic, but still made me feel really comfortable, even though I just shat all over his dick.
That is a
That's
great fucking
awesome.
story. I love
Some
this.
people is like, been there, just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure that's happened to so many people.
Not that.
Oh,
no, that hasn't. And not the egg. Not the. What did you call it? The egg.
No, I heard
The
a
egg
story
cup.
recently with
Egg
someone,
cup.
something, not the egg cup. That seems like a British thing, but
Yeah, do you guys have egg cups over there? You know what an
No,
egg
but
cup
we,
is?
we were at our friend's house in Philly who's married to a British man, and we drank shots out of the egg cup. And she's like, y'all are using the egg
Of
cups as
course.
shot glasses.
Well,
and
it
we're
looks
like,
a shot
it was a chicken shaped shot glass. And she's like, those are for eggs. I was like, oh, it's an egg cup. Sorry.
or for poop. Oh, too.
No, yeah.
How else do you have your boiled eggs? I mean, it is. We do that as well over here. We do shot out of the egg cups
Oh,
when we
good.
run out of
Okay.
shot glasses. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Florence? You gonna top that?
I don't think I can top that. I think like the weirdest thing that's happened to me recently is I filmed my first ever like kind of porn scene, and my best friend filmed it for me. So she was watching me give head and have sex, and that was a very unusual experience. But not bad. Like, it was like weird. I was like, that was a bit weird, but in a good way. It was actually, honestly, probably a really amazing experience having your best friend film you and show you all the best angles of yourself. Because now I'm like, oh, yeah, that's it. She, she just sees me in a different way. She's like, you're so beautiful. She was like, this is the most beautiful I've ever seen you. I was like, that's really sweet. I guess I was at my most natural. That was my natural habitat during.
That was cute.
I could feel like I could film you, cute. Amy, maybe, and I'd be like, okay, Chip, spread the ass cheeks a little bit more. Let's take it in. Yes, there you go. Or we need you more.
The coaching on the side.
Yeah.
To be
like,
fair,
okay, you could totally do that for me.
I think everyone should do this with their best friends, because
everyone should film porn. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, everyone should film.
That's our values.
You don't have to put it out. You don't have to put the scene out anywhere, but like get your friend to film you having sex. It's like really magical and beautiful experience.
I feel like having your own porno. Yeah, I feel like having your own porno is something you need to have now. It's like before the craze was wedding photos, everyone had to have their wedding photos, and now it's like, no, have your own porn
sex tape
shot by your best friend. Yeah.
Well, I think the shot by your best friend is a nice addition, and I hear what you're saying with Florence. Like, it sounds edgy is the word that came to me for that. Like, oh my God, if like, my best friend who I know loves me is going to capture the best angles of me and celebrate me, but it's like she knows me really well, so it's pretty edgy. So I can see that, but like, I mean, I like some edgy shit. So April, apparently we have a date for that coming up soon. Okay, we're gonna flip the story though. Flip the story. What about your that was so fucking hot sex stories?
Oh, Jesus. Okay. We have a friend who is a dominatrix. She owns this incredible dungeon space in London and lets my boyfriend and I use it for no money, right? This is wild. What? It's incredible. And we went there. The last time we went there, I have a tickle fetish. That is like my thing. I've always had this fetish ever since I can remember. I've dealt with a lot of shame with this fetish. And my boyfriend doesn't have a tickle fetish, but he indulges me. And one of my main things that I've always wanted to tick off the list is to be able to piss myself while being tickled. That's like the one for me. Better than orgasms, better than sex.
You do know you just said tick off the list about a tickle fetish. That just wanted to point that out. So
wow.
Cool. That is cool.
Wow. My brain's doing things. I even got the shudders when I heard the T word. I was like, oh God. Oh yeah, we're talking about this. And we've tried and played around with this before, where I drink so much water, so I have a full bladder, and I cannot for the life of me piss at the same time. It really, like, my muscles are switched off. I can't put two and two together. But during this process and being in the dungeon space, I discovered that I can have bladder orgasms, which are blowing my mind, where it's completely hands-free, not touching the G-spot, not touching the clitoris, but where he's teasing me and pushing on my bladder multiple times to try and make me wet myself. But instead, I just come. I just fully have it feels like a G-spot orgasm. It's like a full, well, it's a bladder orgasm. I didn't even know they existed. And then we had this whole session, filmed everything as well for OnlyFans because, got to get that sexy content. And at the very end, because I still, it hurts holding in that much liquid. It hurts. And I'm like there, like trying, like, come on, just piss. You could do this. But it's hard. You switch it off. Anyway, at the very end, we got to the point where I could finally piss. I wasn't touched at the same time, but we're getting there. We're working up to it. That was my hottest moment. Actually, engaging that part of my fetish, and then also the humiliation side of, oh my God, I've just wet myself tied to a fucking spanking bench in a dungeon in front of the man that I love. I was like, what the fuck is my life? That was hot as fuck.
I cannot
hear some
top that.
hotness
Yeah.
there.
That's-
And we
Florence
also
was like, oh man, no, I can't top that.
Well,
Yes.
we just want to
Not
add to this.
at all.
We had our friend Dr. Willow Brown on the show, and she talked about kidney orgasms, liver
Yeah.
orgasms too. So anyone listening, she works in more like Chinese
Chinese
medicine. But
What?
we'll send you the info for that because we still haven't
Please.
mastered
She could
that
be
part,
on your
but-
show. She has a
Yeah.
podcast
Yeah,
too,
she's awesome.
talking about it because it was quite interesting.
Yeah.
This was
That
back in the
sounds
day in person. Yeah.
Very interesting.
What about you,
my God,
Florence?
that's
What about your
amazing.
fuck yeah, fuck
Well,
yeah story? Fuck
It's
yeah.
not as I cannot top that story. I should have gone first. We should have switched
So
that
honest.
around. So I've been in a throuple this year. I think one of my hottest moments, honestly, maybe in like my whole sex life, was the first threesome that we had. I've never been dating two people at the same time and have feelings for two people at the same time and then have sex with them at the same time. And I don't know, there was something like so fucking visually hot about seeing my girlfriend on top in the middle whilst our partner was like hands around her. I had the wand on her pussy and seeing her like squirm and orgasm. And he's like, I don't know, touching up on her behind. And I was like, I just remember having one of those moments of like, what the actual fuck is my life? Like, this is like one of the hottest things I have ever seen. And like the threesomes have been like the most beautiful experiences of my life. And it's just so fucking hot to have that. That's my little hot,
I think that's
hot poly moment.
those are both
Yeah.
really good stories. Wow, and very different, but
Hot
still very.
tamale.
Yeah, but that's like, I mean, you're both adventurous, clearly, and thank you for sharing those very different stories. But they're I mean, I'm
Yeah.
turned on by both of them. Not, I've never had a bladder orgasm, and I had bedwetting situations like all through childhood that like makes
Same.
me terrified. So that's like, I love that. Almost as overcoming the
Mhm.
fear and the shame of being a bedwetter until I was like 9 or something or 8, and there was a lot of other things involved in that. But I remember before where my bladder has been involved, like almost an orgasm, maybe like it got pushed on from grinding or something. And I was like, oh no, what if I pee? And there's all this shame in that. So that's kind of a cool way to take back the power in something that maybe you felt powerless in if you were a bedwetter.
Absolutely.
Were you a bedwetter
Yeah.
too, Reed? Yeah.
Yeah, I was a bedwetter. I don't know how old I was late. I was a late bedwetter. I think I was still in the double digits when I was wetting the bed for sure.
Wow, interesting.
And shame around like being tickled till I pissed myself when I was much, much younger, which of course builds part of the fetish of why I enjoy it now. And you're right, it feels like reclaiming it instead of being so hideously mortified about like any kind of bodily fluids, anything like that. It's now like, oh, like leaning into the shame, enjoying the shame. Like this is a part of it. This is a part of why it turns me on. And now I almost don't feel any shame around it because I've embraced it so hard. And I'm like, yeah, man, I like piss.
Yeah, that's hot.
Oh, that's fucking
Love
hot.
that.
So
Yeah.
So I love both of these stories. So thank you both for sharing. And this is the thing. You're so easy to talk to, and I feel so comfortable talking to both of you about these things that typically, I mean, we talk about them too, and we're pretty shameless, but at the same time, you're normalizing it for folks out there. That doesn't have to just come from Amy and I. It's like, no, look, there's other folks out there that are doing the same things, that are experiencing pleasure from these things that could seem scary from the outside or 10 years ago. Have you heard our episodes about prostate pleasure, but perhaps were intimidated when we talked about putting something into the bum? Well, guess what? We discovered the perfect perineum massage, literally called the Perineum Massager by Butter Wellness. It's the only device designed to externally stimulate the male G-spot. No insertion, just pure external magic. Butter Wellness's Perineum Massager can even lead you to have stronger, full body orgasms. Some call it a super because it's that good. And it's not just about pleasure. The Perineum massager can help with erectile challenges and promotes prostate health by increasing blood flow to the pelvic region.
Chip, don't forget, it's also a fantastic couples toy.
You're right.
I've used it on my clit as a clit massager during sex, and then my partner and I can switch off using it during playtime. It's like multiple toys in one. And right now, Butter Wellness is offering our listeners 20% off your order when you enter code Shameless at butterwellness.com. That's Butter Wellness, BUTTERWELLNESS, and use code Shameless to get 20% off the Perineum massager. Don't miss out. Visit butterwellness.com, use code Shameless, and check the episode's description for the link. Time to get smooth and silky like butter. Hey, y'all. So, I guested on the Feeling Lighter podcast with Dr. Lisa and Katie, and I wanted to share more about their WeShape offering because I absolutely love what they are doing.
I listened. I wasn't there, but I loved it too. And we get so many emails from people who are wanting to learn to love their bodies, and WeShape is the perfect solution for them. It's all about feeling comfortable in your body while letting go of the societal BS, that's bullshit, about how you should change it.
Heck yes, girl. And we would explain more to you, but instead, we're going to let Katie, one of the founders, do it in a more succinct way. So here you go.
Hi, I'm Katie, the co-founder at WeShape. We are a fitness app taking a radically different approach and paving a new path in the fitness industry. Our primary goal is to focus on people's physical and mental well-being. So we've created a product with workouts that are rooted in quality movement and connection with the body. We have a technology that has real-time customization that can meet you exactly where you are. We also believe that all movement counts, which is why we also offer stretching routines that take as little as 10 minutes. And as a means of addressing our mental well-being, WeShape offers daily community calls with various coaches that create a safe and judgment-free space with the primary goal of acknowledging that everyone has the right to accept and love their body just as it is, and that we don't need to meet societal standards to feel valued. So if you're ready to shift how you feel in your body and about your body, WeShape is here for you. Check us out at WeShape.com/Shameless for 35% off today.
That brings me to what you talk about in your podcast. You talk about a range of so many things like kink and porn and squirting and, coming all over, being filmed by your best friend making porn, or there's so many things, right? And confidence obviously is a huge piece in talking about all of these things and providing the world with your message. And obviously, folks that are, all folks out there can have body shame and body image issues, especially with media and social media and OnlyFans and porn. So if you had any advice to give to folks listening right now that want to work through body shame, especially if they're in this world of wanting to expand their sex lives and their pleasure, what would that advice be?
I was instantly going to say the 30-day nude challenge. That's something that we've had and we've used for a long time, where we recommended if you have any kind of hang-ups about your body, about your genitals, about your tummy, then doing a sexy photo shoot for yourself and putting the focus on the thing that maybe you have issues of, or just not hiding it. Too many of us, we wake up, we throw on clothes, we don't look at our bodies, we don't appreciate our bodies, we don't connect with them. And so if, say, for example, you've never really loved your pussy lips, then creating a shoot where you actually give yourself a little naughty, filthy shoot and take a bunch of shots of your pussy and learn to love it in that direction. I did my anus. I never really loved my booty hole. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to show my booty hole some love.
How'd you get it? How'd you get on film by yourself? I've always wondered this, Reed, because that's some angling. I've tried.
Yes.
I'm like, do I need to? Yes. So how did you do?
Well, first of all, I give her some love, I give her some love. I do whatever I need to do, wash or not wash, the stinky asshole is also delicious, hairy booty hole as well. I've got the hairiest anus you'll ever see. Like there is hair for days. So learning to love that as well, and not just constantly shaving and waxing and getting it all off. So just being like, you know what, you're beautiful the way you are, and having to put your camera down, doing the self timer. For me, I mean, booty, it's got to be a low angle. Like to really get up in that, you need lots of light as well, but natural light. I like natural light, especially when you're doing something that's quite erotic. And yeah, just like looking sexy, you know, it's all about the timer.
Okay.
Or video.
I didn't think about that. I was just
stills.
like trying to go in the mirror, and I was like, this is so fucking awkward.
Like the
trying to
selfie,
get the angle.
Like, I need a fluffer. I need
someone's help. Help me. Help.
That would also, I mean, honestly, my arm does not get far enough to get a good picture.
Yeah,
otherwise,
that's
it's like
hard.
real fucking close up and blurry. But yeah, timer.
Hard.
Sometimes you gotta do like face down, ass up, spread her a little bit, like just go in.
That's what that song was about, huh? I think that's what it was about. Take a picture of your
face
butthole.
down,
so
ass
much
up.
today.
That's the way we like to
love
fuck. Yeah,
The shooter assholes.
I think one of my most game-changing things that I ever did for my body confidence, because I've struggled with it for a long time. My weight has always fluctuated. You know, we grew up in the fucking 90s, which is like size 0, anorexic. Like we all had eating disorders. It was like really, really terrible. It was a terrible time to grow up in. So like we've all really fucking struggled. And I think like social media has been such a big part of that as well. The biggest thing that helped me was actually doing, not like taking the photos of myself. And yes, that did really help, but having a photo shoot with a professional, like kind of like body confidence photographer who like really knows how to like make you feel comfortable in your skin, and like knows the angles, and like just makes it like a really fun experience. And seeing the results of that, and sort of seeing yourself in a light that you actually hadn't seen before, was such like a magical experience of like, oh, like I can look hot and I can look sexy. And then like after that, I kind of started doing OnlyFans, and I was like, you know what, I can look sexy. And it was kind of this like weird self-acceptance process of, you like, if I can put myself out there looking like this, then it kind of validated it for myself. And I don't know whether that's the most healthy thing to do with the OnlyFans thing, but it worked for me. So
sometimes you need the validation to get to a point where you don't need that validation anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, people talk
all
about self-validation and like not getting external validation from anyone, but I think some types of external validation are very valid. Like I think we need, you know, we need friends around us that are hyping us up, and, you know, not friends that are like, oh, you sure you should be eating that? Or like, fuck that kind of language. Like,
or wearing that's like so short, or like so revealing.
Or you send them a picture of your butthole and they're like, you have a hairy butthole.
Yeah, like how fucking dare they?
Okay,
Like,
don't
you
send
need
your
to
friends
wax.
butthole pictures
Jesus.
unless they say they want to see your butthole.
I'm fucking around.
Yeah.
Amy's gonna definitely.
It was hilarious
fun
because
stuff.
actually the other day, a friend of ours, I was, you know, just for various reasons, and I won't say why, but I was like, I have a photo of my butthole. Do you want to see it? And
Why did you ask me?
I'll tell you later off the air. And she was like, yes, I totally do. And then I just got like busy or something, but I'll still reminder, I'll send it to her. But you know, some but don't know drive-by butthole shot.
I bet I know who it is.
You probably
One person I think
you probably do.
I know who it is.
There's two people that you may think of who it is. Okay, I'm going to link this though to our next question, because you were saying some of the, actually both of you were saying this, you were using the word sexy. And I've met a number of people of, you know, of all genders, but especially penis owning folks where like they're, you know, sexy maybe isn't their word that they identify with. But even vulva owning folks, like, you know, some straight women who are like, I'm sexual. I like to fuck. I want to have sex, whatever X amounts of times or whatever. But I don't identify with sexy. So do you have any tips on how people can discover their inner unique sexy, or even like the language that goes for that with them as a unique being?
Yeah, I really do think that started with being more open about sex and really like debunking the shame around it. Because I think if you start kind of being more aware of what you're into and being more comfortable with yourself and your body, like the sexy kind of does come from that in a way.
I would say that the term sexy is complicated, because I think a lot of us think when we see sexy as kind of like a cringe word. especially as it could lead to like the type of porn that we think of when we think sexy. And it's like, you know, it could be like saxophone. It's really like stereotypical, you know, like stereotypical looking person or people. And you can make sexy your own. Sexy doesn't have to be what we've seen in porn, what we've seen in movies, what we've seen on the TV. It could literally be your version of sexy. It could be wearing a t-shirt. It could be feeling yourself. It could be, it doesn't have to be naked. It could be anything you want it to be. It is not about how it looks. It is about how you feel on the inside and trying to tap into what really gets you going, what gets that heart rate up, what gets like, when you look at something or feel something, you're like, damn, I look good. It doesn't have to be a full set of lingerie, but also it could be a full set of lingerie. I think we also have a lot of onus on sexy with especially vulva owners, and sexy is for women only. That is bullshit. You know, sexy can be for all genders, penis owners. I love a sexy dude that feels sexy, that knows they're sexy, that loves themselves. It doesn't have to be arrogance or a turn off. It can still be confidence, but it's all about how you interpret it.
Yeah, redefining sexy. I didn't even think of that. That's such a good answer.
You know what? The other day, just a couple days ago, I had my period panties on, and I feel like those are the fucking most unsexy things. So it was Friday night, and my partner, she's like out there chilling on like our balcony, just like on the phone. And I'm like, I want to make these period panties fucking sexy. So I kept them on. I put on some lingerie, and I have these like tall red like stiletto boots that go up to like they're totally like thigh high boots, and I put on red lingerie and hiked the period panties up and went out, and I was like, I put my like foot on him, and he was like, whoa, he's on the phone, he's like, I gotta call you back, bro. And I put on the Bands That Make Her Dance song by Juicy J. You say no to ratchet pussy, Juicy J.
Amazing.
It was and he was like, I gotta call you back, bro. He's like, whoa. He's like, I was like, I was just stoned. I didn't even expect this. And I don't know what to, you got to give me a second. But he's like, and I was like, see, babe, I'm making these period panties sexy. And he's like, I like this. I like it a lot. And we didn't fuck. Yes. We just like made out, and like, he like touched my body because I don't like to fuck when first day of my period. I just can't, like, it hurts me. So, but
Agreed, hear that.
I put the sexy in my period pants. I was so proud. He was dying laughing too. He's like, cause I said, I'm going to make these period panties sexy. That was just on Friday night. So I feel you.
Did like panties? You just said panties.
Period panties.
Panties.
Oh, okay, I know.
So,
I know.
Period panties. They could be panties.
Then it makes more sense.
But now you made them sexy, so maybe I don't know.
They're like
period panties are getting sexy, aren't they? Like before, it was just literally you got like a pad and there's fucking blood everywhere, and it's just like, oh, it's all up in your face. But now they're making really nice.
I mean, this was a diapery one, so I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it was like a saggy butt diapery one, and I'm like, oh my god! But I hiked it up.
Just owning it.
So fucking
round of applause.
Red boots with the red thing.
We have to make our own sexy then. Like, we just need to discover like, what is it about ourselves that feels sexy? And it could be something so different. I really love that. It's changed.
So thank you. I just had to share that story because it went right in line with what you're talking about. So, and you don't have to be sexy. You could be like, I'm sensual, or I'm cute, or I'm playful. And that could be like fun and sexy. Like, I'm going to crawl on the floor.
Or I'm dominant. I'm gonna fucking dominate your ass. That is sexy.
I'm a boss bitch. That's what I think, because I don't usually identify with being sexy. I identify as being like a boss bitch, or I'm cute and pretty. But like, that's what I try to think. I don't ever go like, I'm sexy. So bringing it.
I think she's sexy.
Oh,
you are sexy.
With those period panties are on with that lingerie. So, oh God, mortification just happened.
Time for a quick break to talk about one of our sponsors, who just so happens to be our absolute favorite lube, Uberlube. Uberlube is a luxurious silicone lubricant, and it enhances intimacy. It's there when you want it, and it blends in when you're done with it, so you have control over that lube. It's long lasting and leaves the skin extra velvety, and honestly, y'all, I want it all over my body. Thousands of doctors in the U.S. are recommending Uberlube to their patients. It's body-friendly, less likely to change the pH, and it has vitamin E, so it feels extra moisturizing.
There's a reason why we've been a fan of Uber Lube for years. There's no flavor or scent. It's even great for oral sex, everyone. But it's not just great for sex. You can use it for massage, your hair. You can prevent chafing. It even brings out the colors of your beautiful tattoos. And the bottle is absolutely gorgeous. It looks more like a cosmetic, so you can leave it anywhere shamelessly for easy access. Just go to uberlube.com and use the discount code shameless10 to get 10% off and free shipping. Again, that's uberlube.com right now with code shameless10 for 10% off and free shipping. This podcast is also brought to you by OMGS.com. Join over 1 million people who are experiencing more pleasure with OMGS. They take scientific research of thousands of vulva owners, showing techniques to pleasure that pussy. They turn this research into tasteful, educational short videos, animated modules, and infographics. OMGS is for anyone who wants to learn about vulva pleasure or take it to the next level. Want to take your orgasms from good to out of this world? Then check out OMGS. Or if you're a vulva lover and want to up your pussy pleasuring skills, then you need to check out OMGS.
I've personally been recommending OMGS to my clients for years, and it's completely changed their lives. They have 3 seasons: external pleasure, internal pleasure, and sex toys. It's not a subscription service, and you don't need to download a thing. OMGS also makes a fabulous gift, and your purchase supports more pleasure research. So just go to omgs.com/shameless to get 10% off right now. Again, that's omgs.com/shameless to receive 10% off unlimited access towards enhancing your pleasure power. The link is in the episode's description.
Okay. I think a lot of people think kink equals like this dark dungeon. And it's like, I'm in this dungeon being strapped to like a St. Andrew's cross, getting whipped, and someone's peeing all over me or scat.
Oh my God, sounds so good.
I'm going to
like, yes, please.
Yeah, he's like, sign
Well,
me
yes.
up.
And that could be, right? But it seems like a lot of people are into some form of kink, even if they identify as vanilla. Maybe they want to be blindfolded, which could be kinky. So what are your top tips for self-identified vanilla folks out there and or newbies to tap into their inner kinky selves?
Yeah, I guess we don't know we're kinky until we try something that actually works for us. So I think experimentation and exploration is such an important part of sex. And that could really start without even trying things out. Personally, in the bedroom, you could start watching porn with your partners or investigating things yourself. Like, try checking out the kink websites, or I don't know, one of my favorites is Erica Lust's website with all her very cinematic porn, and she has a whole series. I think she was just on our podcast and was talking about this series called Safe Word, and that seemed like a really amazing place to start with looking into kink and trying to figuring out what turns you on when it comes to exploration. Kink could literally just be like being like doing more like sensory play with a blindfold and feathers and like wax play. Like, it doesn't have to be scary.
Yeah. I mean, scary is also okay. If you are into the dungeon stuff, like, that is fine. It can be a turn on, but it doesn't have to be that way. The dungeon that I use is this really beautiful modern space, no like brick wall and dangling chains. It's all really modernized equipment that all like fits in, and neon lights, and it looks incredible. But with kink, a kink is just an uncommon turn on. This could be anything that we don't normally, I say normally, like, who the fuck is normal anymore? Christ. And also understanding that I want to caveat it with vanilla isn't a bad thing. It's okay to not be into kink. It's not like you're vanilla and the next level is kink. That is bullshit. That is not fair. Sometimes people do prefer vanilla. They want the sensual, they want the kissing and the beautiful and the lovemaking. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you are interested in kink, then it is just kind of about following your genitals, following your heart, and following your head. Because not everyone feels arousal in their genitals. Sometimes it's just in your head where you're just like, oh my God, I can't stop thinking about that thing. So you can make things super, sexy, not scary. It doesn't have to be all about like BDSM and dominance. It could be really light. It could just be like, oh, I don't like choking, but if you place your hand near my neck, that's sexy. That's what I want.
I really like rope play for getting into kind of more kinky stuff because it can be so like tame. It doesn't have to even be restraints. It could just literally be kind of like a body, and the whole experience, it is a kinky experience being tied up. And you can go as far as you want, and you know, there are safe words and be safe, have scissors around and shit like that. But the whole like experience is such like a sensual like rope being like draped over your body and kind of being like tight within that material as well is a really amazing exploration. It's something that I've really enjoyed doing this year.
Like the nylon rope or the silk rope, because the hemp rope can hurt.
Oh, I've got hemp rope. It hurts.
Yeah.
It
can hurt.
I don't think
like
I've
comfort.
ever had the hemp. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had the hemp. I have some really
itchy,
nice like
I'm a
soft
princess.
kink.
Yeah.
Or like just
if you
basic
don't
cotton.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't have access to rope, you can use things like tights, pantyhose. They make great bondage, and that can be quite comfortable. You don't have to spend a lot of money on a whole bondage like equipment to be able to test it out. It's about testing things out, trying things a little bit, and seeing if it creates a response, a positive response inside of you. And also, if it has created a negative response, then it's worth trying it again later with somebody else, because it might just be that you were with someone that didn't make you feel safe or feel heard, and you might still be into kink. It's just with that person, it didn't go down well.
I think that's the most important thing, is that you really have to trust your partner before exploring anything in kink, because it's such like a safety thing. Obviously you can go really far and there could be like pain and pleasure, and like that has to be very like safe word, and there's control and there's restraints. So, you know, trust is fundamental. And if you don't have that, then I wouldn't even really suggest exploring it yet.
Well, trust can also be, you can trust somebody on a first date. It doesn't have to be dates and dates and dates worth. You go with your gut. You know, you get a vibe from somebody. And if you're like, actually, I feel really safe for this person, they're talking like they know their shit, then yeah, you could be completely bound up, helpless with fucking toys coming in every single hole in your body on a first date. That can still be trust. But yeah, it is definitely important to listen to your gut. If it's an I don't know or an I'm not sure, then just say not right now and maybe later.
Yeah. And that's
maybe be careful though with new people letting them tell you. I'd be a little scared.
And throughout it would be like,
I watch too many crime shows though. Okay.
I think throughout it, even with that though, like you're going to be committing to, if you're going to like, I trust this person, my guess is communication's feeling pretty locked in, right? And then you're going to continue to communicate through. And if you have a gag in your mouth, you're going to hopefully, you know, that person, you're going to you're going to talk about body language. And so like but there is something to be said, you know, about it. Like it doesn't have to be, you know, many dates and the lifetime partner that you go and explore certain things with. And there's a lightness. One thing that my partner did the other day, it's not his, he learned it, I think, from Reed Mihalko, by the way, was he took off a pillowcase from the pillow and used that to tie my wrists together. You know, we already had a negotiation that would have been safe, but it was super comfortable, really easy, very casual. At first, I'm like, what are you doing with that pillowcase? And then, and like, so, you know, we were like, you know, following the thread, but so there's like so many DIY.
Wait, tied you up with a pillowcase?
Just use it as a wrist restraint.
Or you put it over your head. Oh, okay.
No, over the head would be a hard no. Oh, hell no. I'm claustrophobic as fuck.
Sign me up.
Yeah. That would have been what the fuck are you doing, motherfucker? Get the fuck off me. Fuck, and fuck you. We're never fucking again.
Yeah. And that's a hard limit. It's okay to have, it's good to have hard limits. We want those.
Yes. Yeah. But as long as we can communicate, right?
This is why I need to stop watching crime shows.
He tied my wrists with it.
No, but I was thinking, and I had to hear it from you though. I was like, so look over your head, and what were your wrists doing?
Okay. Anyways, with that, let's play a game it's called Rapid Fire, everyone. No, you're fine. Yeah. We got the picture. Also, you can use them for ankle restraints, just saying.
Yeah. Or his ties, because he's a criminal defense attorney. You could use his tie.
Or a ball gag. I mean, like you can't talk. Or as also for your mask. But not for an Amy Baldwin, never over the head. Anyone listening, if I'm ever intimate with you, if you do that, it's going to be a big problem. Okay, so rapid fire. We did this. I think you did this with us on your show. So we're having you do it on our show with them, and it's just a playful game. Everyone, it's a short, playful game. And so, okay, I'll start first with the first one, and then April will get you in the next one. Okay, we're doing hot or not. Like, do you think it's hot, or do you like not your jam? First one, very simple sounding, right? Sex on the beach.
Not.
Oh, I don't know, man. Hot. I think it's hot. I think outdoor
man.
sex is fucking hot. You can make it work. You can put a towel down. You can figure it out.
No,
it doesn't have to be.
that doesn't work.
It doesn't have to be penetration.
Absolutely not.
It doesn't fucking have to be penetration to be sex.
I don't want it. I don't fucking want it. I don't care if there's a beautiful fucking background. The sun is setting. It is like dreamy and magical. Don't fuck me on the beach. Take me home where the restraints are.
What about like in the water, like the Caribbean water where the sun's like setting and like you're kind of like you're kind of grinding.
Reed is currently moving away from the microphone as April says that.
Asking, because there's some scenarios because I don't like sex at the beach, but I've had a lot of sex at the beach, but okay, good. I agree with Florence with it. Yeah, okay, but Reed's like, oh hell no, stand up in the
that's my hard limit.
Yeah.
Stand up in the
I've had lots of outdoor sex and I've not loved any of it.
Yeah. All right. Word. I feel you on this. Amy, what about you? Sex on the beach?
Oh, I'm like a mix between both of you. I think it could be hot, but I didn't want any sand anywhere near my bits. I get yeast infections really easily too. Like, what's the bacteria? Yeah. Can you wash your hands? There's sink available. Mm-hmm. So it depends. Like, like a nice little like house on the beach right there. And I don't know, but still, I don't know. I think that is a little cliche for my liking and for my bits. I'm not looking for sandpaper experiences.
Yeah. It could be very exfoliating for your inner vagina. I'm just kidding. We do not,
for your butthole.
We do not recommend
exfoliation. Yeah.
That's the new self-care thing. Yeah. Like exfoliating like inside.
Yoni steaming just went to sex on the beach, but like grinding your pussy all over the sand intentionally.
Oh,
sorry.
People are into it. Let's not kink shame. People are fully into grinding their pussy, grinding their bits.
Sand.
Yeah.
On the sand, for sure.
That's why we're saying hot or not. Like, we're just like, what's every individual into around just on this show, at least.
I use a lot of weirder shit to exfoliate, like coffee beans and shit. So, yeah. All right.
That's true.
So let's move on to this question. And I'm curious about this. Sex in a bathroom stall at a bar. Is it hot or is it not?
Not for me.
Yeah, not for me. I used to think so, but it's the novelty. I've had my head down a toilet, like holding the toilet whilst I'm being fucked.
I fucked on a toilet in a hostel once, and that was not hot.
It's grotty, man. Like, it's a cool story, and maybe you get off on the idea of the experience and like, oh my god, we just did that. But when you're actually there and you're like surrounded by filth and it's not comfortable, I want comfort. I like being comfy. Well, Reed, comfy in bondage. You know what I mean?
Reed, you once told a story on the podcast where it was you met someone in a club and it was their birthday and you were really drunk and ended up fucking in the bathroom. And then what did you say to them?
I said, as I was riding them, it being their birthday, I was like, happy birthday. As in, I'm your motherfucking present. And I could not stop cringing. I never knew his name. I literally just grabbed him, fucked him in a bathroom, and then left.
Was he sitting on the toilet while you were riding him?
Yeah, where was he sitting? Was he standing?
It was all kinds. I think when I was saying happy birthday, he was sitting on the toilet and I was riding him. But it was also a bathroom that was like full of mirror as well. It was like,
was it a men's bathroom, women's bathroom, or gender neutral bathroom?
I think it was gender neutral because it was in this sort of like exclusive members club, and it was their launch night, and it was like a single bathroom, just covered in mirrors, and I was very, very drunk.
The
but,
happy bathroom could be hot. Like that could be. I've been in some nice bathrooms and like where the door closes, it's not the stall, but this one was the stall.
Like that one in Mel or Monterey you showed me?
Yeah, that bathroom. And then there's been some bathrooms in Las Vegas where there's like a heated toilet seat that's like the Japanese one that goes up, and then it like air fluffs your butthole and your vagina after with like some streaming. It's a bidet, So
you're a hot if it's in that environment.
The line though was really long when I was in there way too long with my friend Kristen, who's been on our podcast. I took her in the bathroom. I was like, Kristen, you got to sit on this Japanese toilet. And she was, and I was like, I was fluffing her with I was like, here's the air coming. She's like, she's like, that just got in my butthole. She's like, I feel like I've never been this clean in my life. And I was like, see, I'd fuck in that bathroom. But then we got out and there were like 20 people in the line. I was like, sorry, we were in there for probably 30 minutes just fucking
playing. No fucking just playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I could fuck in like a dive bar bathroom just because I am mindful of people needing to go to the loo, like when they have to go and use the toilet. And I'm like, I feel rude. Because I've been one of those people holding my urine like profusely having to pee and then being like, these bitches were in there for fucking 45 minutes. I almost peed my pants. And so that's where I come from. Same with like bathrooms on airplanes, which we'll get to. So
no, we're going to that one now.
Yeah. But what about you, Amy, and bathroom stalls?
Oh, no, certainly not. I take a long time to warm up. How long do you have? This pussy's a Rubik's Cube. And even if you know it well, like I'm as Jaya's erotic blueprints would suggest, like my number one is energetic. So, and that's not aesthetics. That's like the actual, just like overall energy. Like, can I relax? Can I submit? 'Cause I'm also a subby person, you know, and like, and so, yeah, I don't care how nice the bathroom is in a public place. Am I a bathroom at home? Actually, still no. Let's go to like other places, please.
There are better places to fuck.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not saying my bathroom home's terrible, but like, why would I do that there when I have all these other places? So yeah.
Okay, I feel that.
This one's going to be a drive-by for you, Reed. I don't know if you read this question already, but I did some spy business. It's for both of you, though. I want to hear what you both say.
Masturbating masturbating someone else on the plane, too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Totally. But because I heard you talking about this, and I don't know, maybe it was on Instagram, masturbating on a plane.
Yes, I did. I'm just a fucking horny cow. And I was so horny. And I think it was after I saw Florence as well. I was like flying back on my own, not literally, not like straight up. I mean, you warmed me up for probably about 10 days, girl.
It's fucking foreplay.
Yeah. And on this flight, I had a whole row to myself. It was a really empty flight, which was just wild anyway. And then had a blanket over and I was like, I'm fucking horny. Everyone's asleep. Like, let's go. And so, gave myself a little manual and busted.
I love this. I love this for you.
Just doing the drag queen clap for you right now.
Drag queen clap. No, this is the drag queen clap.
Yeah.
What about you, Florence? What do you think about this?
I don't think I would. I don't think I would feel like doing that in public in that kind of environment. I just don't think I would be horny. Maybe if I was like with a partner, don't think I would solo masturbate.
Okay. Which is, speaking of which, with a partner, we had a friend on a flight back in the day, no names, of course, that back in the day, like a year and a half ago, actually was like on a plane in the seat in front of a dude and the middle seat, and she was crying, and the dude kind of consoled her with his hand, like from the seat behind her in the middle seat, and then she ended up giving him a hand job somehow in the seat behind.
Yes, so two middle seats never knew each other before.
We don't know, but we were on the same flight.
Yeah. When we got off the plane,
we're not on the same row.
Never say her name.
No,
very private, like private meaning like her identity for this.
Whoa.
But she told us this, and like, a lot of people like, that's fucking. We were like, that's actually kind of not that like you owed him in HJ, but like that he was consoling you for your emotional experience. But this was a full flight, y'all. This was not a bunch of open seats.
Like, she was in the middle seat. Amy and I were we were all in different rows because they're.
It's not possible. I need to know the secrets.
No,
I just
she did it.
She did it.
We saw him getting his luggage when we landed, and I was like,
he had a big smile on his face.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he was like a lovely gentleman.
Yeah, and we were like, wait, what happened? Because and so we still need more details because it's been a little while, but she won't lie, and she was definitely. That happened.
Yeah.
We don't exactly know how.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming
that's some skills. That is some fucking skills.
And some reaching, like deep reaching. Damn. Maybe he scooted forward. Anyway, how do you feel about this? Masturbating, wanking with someone partner on the plane.
Masturbating or wanking your partner.
Yeah, wanking your partner.
Or a stranger.
Yeah.
I feel like
or a stranger.
I would do that. Yeah. Yeah. I would.
I love the idea. But I think it's too risky for me. Masturbating on the plane, I was under a blanket, and I was like doing the tiniest little movement. But if you're wanking a cock, especially, it's like fucking Jesus. It's like, how are you hiding that? I got lucky because there was fuck all people on my plane.
I got away with it. Woman.
Oh yeah.
Word.
Word. You've got the shared binky.
I'm good, but I don't know if I'm that good to get somebody to get completion, on a plane.
Oh, yeah.
But we have a friend that did.
The angles would be so hard.
Yeah. I know we've tried to wrap our head around this for years, and I still can't. And I still am like, it happened, and it's like, fucking kind of fantastic.
Yeah.
And also like I would never, but like
I'm a no to both. I'm a no.
Yeah.
Primarily, well, one we were talking about, like I'm pretty much into the dick, and like the whole experience of like wanking the dick is going to be a whole like obscene process, but also like for me it's just going to take me a long time to even really get off or drop into the pleasure, relaxation, blah blah blah. So
I'd be too worried about everyone else around me, and I need a blanket. If my partner was next to me and the plane was empty and we had a blanket and we were chilling, I might like touch his cock a bunch. I don't know if I would do it till completion,
like a little
but
like a little grab. That's
doesn't have to be till completion.
So not like a wank.
No, I feel like we played around like that on an airplane before when the environment kind of allowed for that. It was a sort of the perfect chemistry of like there was not a lot of folks around, people were sleeping, it was dark, I was watching something like the fucking movies they have on airplanes these days.
Hot ones.
I'm like, this is like soft porn right now. I'm getting turned on. So it was all the right,
or
all
just
the right things.
like everything is miserable and you're just constantly in tears. That's like, I am crying so much on a plane. Like, you what?
So is she.
I run every flight to like the things that aren't even tear worthy.
Yeah.
Also, what do you do about the cleanup?
The new Magic Mike film I watched on a plane
cried?
once. No, I didn't cry. I just thought it was very, very fucking hot.
You're like Channing Tatum. I need to cry.
I probably would still cry to that.
Just all these dancing
something about the planes. I don't know.
It's true.
Yeah, what would you do though if you were wanking off a cock on a plane? Like, what do you do about the cum?
Jizz.
Because it's like, do you cup it? Is it on the blanket now? Are you sitting in it? Is it in your trousers?
I change into compression socks on airplanes, so I have my socks usually. So I'd probably use one of those.
Yeah, but then you don't have compression socks anymore.
I use not my compression socks. When I change into the compression socks, I have my regular socks.
Backup socks.
I probably use those. Or you've got the face masks available. I mean, I have a whole kit when I travel, so I'd maybe use a face mask.
I just one of the little sick bags all over the front.
The sick bag, the paper bag over the top.
Oh my god!
And I have wet wipes too. I carry wet wipes everywhere on an airplane, even before COVID.
The ones with all the rubbing alcohol. Put that right on the head of the cock.
Put that on the cock.
Yeah, sounds good.
Fuck.
should all hang out more often. This is
I know. I love you too. I don't want to say goodbye. But we have to wrap up because this podcast is only supposed to be, around 60 minutes. And we know that Reed is in London. Florence is obviously in the same time zone as us, but it's getting late in London. So tell us more because I know folks, that's late. So I could not podcast at 10. I would be I
don't know how she's doing it.
You're amazing. It's amazing. You both are amazing. So
ADHD energy.
How can people find your work? What is all of your work? I know you have podcasts, you're on OnlyFans, you have social handles. How can they find all of you? How can they work with you if you do any of that kind of individual work or together work? And Florence, I believe you have a book coming out as well. So please give us those details.
Yeah. So my book, This Book Will Make You Feel Something, is coming out in the USA in June. So it's been out for a year at this point. It's been published in a few different languages, but it's going to be distributed in America next month, which is very, very exciting. Awesome. It's all about reconnecting with your body. It's got 25 erotic stories and 25 masturbation tips and techniques to connect with yourself, your body, and have better pleasure.
Also, this book tells you how long the reading time is. So if you're like, you want to have a quick wank and you want to read something, it'll be like 8 minutes for this story.
I love that.
Which is so ingenious.
Brilliant.
And say the name again, because I heard it in the beginning, but then I forgot.
This Book Will Make You Feel Something by Florence Bark.
We'll have in the show notes, everyone, as well.
Yes,
Congratulations. Everyone go buy that. Support the people that you love.
Where can they buy it in USA in June?
I think it should be in most bookstores. Okay. It depends on where wants to stock it. It will definitely be on USA Amazon. So that's probably the easiest place to get it. It's also an audiobook and I read half of it. I read all the tips and advice and that kind of stuff. And then we have like really sexy voice actors reading the erotic stories. So it's very hot if you want a hands-free experience for your wanking. I highly recommend.
That sounds sexy when you just said it that way.
Okay, where can they find you, Florence, as well? And then we'll go to Reed after that, but on socials and all of those things.
So I'm at Florence Bark on Instagram and TikTok, and at Florence_Bark on Twitter because someone stole my username somehow.
Wait, is Twitter? I thought Twitter wasn't there. I thought it's X now.
X.
Okay,
X,
sorry.
you know, X.
Everyone knows when you say Twitter. It's X.
Yeah.
I've never said I've never twitted.
And OnlyFans, at Florence Curious, or OnlyFans.com/Florence Curious if you want to see my porno that I shot with my friend.
Yeah. Okay. Yep, we got a lot of new fans now.
All right. And Miss Reed, what about you, love?
So you can find me everywhere at Reed Amber X. I have a lot of fake accounts, so do be careful. And that is across the board. That is Instagram, TikTok, X, and also OnlyFans. So if you want to see fucked up content, then come find me. Come say hi. Just release like an insane video at a house party where I take a big dick for the first time, and then it's like 2 boys and 3 girls, and we all fuck in this house party.
Sounds very, very
You just got a lot more fans too.
Yeah.
And Reed with 2 E's, everyone. REED.
Yes.
That's awesome. And then your podcast is called Come Curious. You launch a show, you release a show every week, right? Or is it more than that? Okay.
Every Thursday. Or in America, it might come out on Wednesdays, but
you're like us because we say or Tuesday, so we say see you next Tuesday is like cunt.
Yeah, we say see you next Thursday.
Samesies.
Yeah. Love it.
Amazing.
It makes so much sense.
So good.
We're all twinning.
Yeah,
We're a quad
and also
pod.
you can find us on Instagram as well at Come Curious, spelled COME Curious.
And YouTube.
Oh,
we have
fuck,
10 years worth
ban
of content on there, vlogs, tip videos. You can see us film porn on there. Lots of exciting stuff
on YouTube.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything on YouTube. Yeah. YouTube was like our main staple before we even started the podcast. We did vlog. We've got everything on there.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you for not getting flagged or anything yet. So
we could say 18 and up. No,
we are now.
Oh no, we're fucked.
We're
being
fucked
on YouTube.
Yeah,
fucked differently now.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Well,
sucks.
everyone listening, support these 2 amazing humans that we just love talking to. Hopefully we can have you back again and do some more just collabs with you because I just adore you both. I know Amy does too. And you're so smart, both so gifted, so talented. I think that it's great to have another perspective for our listeners, this kind of British perspective with these beautiful accents and all of this like very shameless content that you put out. And thank you for your work. We're so happy to support you both on this journey because we're all in it together. And
you're like our sisters from overseas.
Yeah. Someday we'll make that in person happen.
Yes, we will for sure. That would be incredible. Let us know, Reed, when you come to the States, and hopefully we can venture into the same community. Come to Santa Cruz. Come to us.
Yes, absolutely.
Come curious with us. Ooh. Hey.
Weird.
All right, y'all. That wraps our show for today. We love each and every one of you. Remember to review us. Don't fast forward through our sponsors because we need them, and that we only have things that we think you would love to buy. We say no to a lot of stuff. And in order to keep this podcast free to you and also alive, our sponsors are really important. And that's why rating us is also important. That's free to do. That's free. Everything costs money, but not rating us on iTunes, Spotify. Follow us on Instagram at Shameless Sex Podcast. Buy our book, Shameless Sex. It is it's basically your guide that you will use over and over again every year that you are alive and in a relationship and on planet Earth, okay?
Or single.
If you fly to Jupiter, then fuck all. There may be a totally different thing happening.
Oh, yeah, it's a little different.
You might be burned up by the gases. Anyway, we love each and every one of you. See you next Tuesday. Ciao for now.
Want to learn more? Go to shamelesssex.com, and for 15% off of some of our favorite sex toys, use coupon code shamelesssex at purepleasureshop.com.